What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Jetski G back with another banger. Now, it's been coming to me that Drake actually could have had a co-writer or an actual full writer on Poetic Justice, and that other writer could have been no other than Kendrick Lamar. This has been tearing my news feeds up on TikTok, on Twitter, well known as X. Now, for this reaction, we're going to have to go over to my man Marcus Media at work. Make sure y'all drop a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about this. Let's get it. Let's go. I'm going to meet y'all over there. Let's get it.
Where someone was asking me to review a video in a channel discussing Kendrick Lamar and Drake's timeline as it relates to what they call the poetic justice theory. Are you familiar with this?
Did Kendrick Lamar actually get Drake to diss himself on Poetic Justice? Is that a crazy reach or am I dead on? Let's break it down and you guys tell me, okay? So we're gonna go all the way back to 2011. Drake releases Take Care and Kendrick Lamar releases Section 80. Even though Section 80 critically did better than Take Care takes #1 on the Billboard 200 list, while Section 80 only makes it to 113. I think that Drake did like 300,000 copies or something like that in the first 2 weeks, and Kendrick Lamar only sold like, I don't know, between 6,000 and 9,000. So that's in 2011. Then in 2012, Drake goes on tour. He has the Club Paradise tour, and Kendrick and A$AP Rocky open for him. Now, when I think about these two different rappers, especially when I think about Section 80 and Take Care, I can't think of two different albums that are further apart. Section 80 is so raw, it's so real. Take Care is so commercial, it is so boppy. And it's really, it's like they're each other's antithesis. And now they're on tour together. And the theory is that this is where the beef really begins, is when they're on tour together. And Kendrick, who is like a purist, like he really, you know, this is his craft. He put a lot of work into this. And if you listen to his music, he tells you about everything he's had to go through to get to this point. And you know, now he's on tour with Drake, and Drake is like, you know, he has writers, he has teams, he is partying, he's not really very authentic. And I could see how that would really piss Kendrick off, but I don't have to guess because Kendrick tells us this. He goes home after touring, you know, he tours from, I think, February to July of 2012, and then he goes and he writes Good Kid, Mad City, and that's released in October of 2012. I mean, and it's more than just Money Trees. It is throughout this whole album.
Well, after doing some research, I kind of like what they're saying, so we're going to dig into that today. This is the channel, and let's get into some of the theory. And then we're going to bring in another clip where he's reviewing Glasses Malone's perspective on him as it relates to the poetic justice theory.
Check out this line in Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. He's making comparisons through this whole album. I can feel the changes. I can feel new people around me just want to be famous. Who are the new people he's around? He just got off tour with Drake. You can see that my city found me and put me on stages. He's appreciating his city. This is, I mean, Poetic Justice is a love letter to them. To me, that's amazing. To you, that's a quick check. You're exploiting my people. With all disrespect, let me say this. And then he goes on to say, don't kill my vibe. Then there's Money Trees. Who could he be talking about here? You look like an easy come up. A silver spoon I know you come from. That's a lifestyle that we never knew. Go add a reverend for the revenue. You do anything for the money. It goes Halle Berry or Hallelujah. It goes Hollywood or salvation. Pick your poison. Tell me what you're doing. Either way, tell me who you are. Everybody gonna respect the shooter, but the one in front of the gun lives forever. This is a reference to the Poetic Justice music video, and Kendrick is the one in front of the gun. And what he's saying is that everybody's gonna respect the industry, but the one in front of the gun lives forever. The artist lives forever. And then he tells you, he says, and I've been hustling all day this way, this bad way, through canals and alleyways, just to say, so I've come all this way just to tell you that Money Trees is the perfect place for shade. So he did all of this to tell you that underneath Money Trees is the perfect place for shade. Poetic Justice, featuring Drake. So at this point, Kendrick Lamar knows that Drake doesn't write his own stuff, and as long as you give him a feature on a song, he'll rap whatever lyrics you want him to rap. And the theory is that in Good Kid, Mad City, he really had to code everything that he was saying because of how raw he was in Section 80 and how, like, it didn't perform as well as he had expected it to or as well as he had wanted it to. He now has to code everything he's saying so that he can get the commercial success that he's looking for.
Now, she got pretty in-depth there, so she went to the lyrics line by line, Basically, the overall concept I can gather is that when Drake brought out Kendrick, when he was just coming up, Drake was the more popular artist at the time. All the Drake stands like to bring up, listen, Drake helped Kendrick get more mainstream by bringing him on tour. That's what they like to say. But apparently, this theory goes, after seeing Drake with all this team of people behind him, ghostwriters and all of that, and he's for real about hip hop, he was disgusted dealing with Drake. And ever since then, he's been waiting and planning this takedown. Now, according to the theory, it doesn't seem like he went right at him because it had to be done in a certain way, but he threw a few subliminals in there just to get things warmed up. So a lot of Drake fans felt like Kendrick was coming out the woodworks. He was just coming out of nowhere attacking the boy. But this all got started a long time ago, but it never came out exactly where and when and how all of this animosity got built up. Well, the theory goes, after Kendrick received Hottest MC, when they were still cool and did some collaboration, everything changed after Kendrick got Hottest MC. J. Cole and Drake started subbing him after that.
So I was tagged in this video from Glasses Malone and the No Ceilings podcast where they're talking Drake and J. Cole taking shots at Kendrick Lamar on the Jodeci freestyle, as well as something to do with Poetic Justice. And you know that this is the home of the Poetic Justice theory. I want to get right into the clip. I brought out the timeline, and I also have the Drake lyrics out so we can examine what Drake is actually saying on his second verse in the Jodeci freestyle, because I believe that it further proves the Poetic Justice theory. But let's have Glasses take it away.
And I do remember a kind of a controversy happening. Right now, I wasn't listening to the Drake songs. That was the B-sides and C-sides. I would catch what would come on the radio. If it was dope, started from the bottom, was about to drop, you know, the good songs. I'm not really diving in none of them niggas' catalogs. I really only was listening to the homie music, you know what I mean? And I would listen to that a few times and then be back on whatever I'm studying. So I missed that. Right, so again, I'm gonna run that lyric back again, right? This is important to remember, Revenge. We moved the operation to Cali soon as the snow dropped. Oh, stop, please stop arguing about who's the best MC. I think everyone would agree they know that you're not.
That's the second verse.
That's 3 months, less than 90 days roughly after he was named the hottest MC.
So you think, so he took a shot,
That's great, that's a shot for sure.
He took a shot.
Yeah, it's definitely a shot.
Fuck your list. Your list, you lame niggas and doubters. I'm undoubtedly the hottest, and that's just me being modest.
This is J. Cole's part. This is J. Cole's verse.
Dummies. That's just me getting started. I'm artistic. You autistic, retarded. That's J. Cole's verse.
No.
Oh, that's J. Cole. And you know what? It's funny when you went into that verse, I was like, this is better than Drake.
Yeah, that's what
I heard Drake, bro. I was like, this is somebody different. J. Cole verse. Okay.
Wow.
That was 3 months after Kendrick Lamar was named the hottest MC.
Right.
Wow.
That was 3 months after Kendrick Lamar was named the hottest MC. Trap.
Right.
3 months
That's
after.
crazy.
We didn't hear about those verses, Trap. But
So what happened? So what happened in that 90 days period, in that 90-day stretch for Drake to go at his friend? Because I guarantee you, it's not just him winning some slack MTV Hottest MC Award. It was something else. And we'll get into that in a second.
it's the narrative.
So I'm like, it was all good before that. 5, 6 months. Actually, if that song came out in June, remember, Good Kid drops in October of last year, 2012.
Right.
They had just
Timeline is
collabed on
important.
songs.
Ooh.
And what were the 3 songs that they collabed on? They collabed on Buried Alive on Drake's album, where Kendrick is basically detailing his initiation into the industry. You can go look at my other videos. I've done plenty of content on that. They collabed on Poetic Justice on Kendrick's album. And Kendrick, from what we understand from the Punch tweets recently, Kendrick insisted that Drake be on that album and Drake be on that song specifically. Would not trade it out for effing Problems. He would rather give that record to Rocky than put it on his album and take him off of Poetic Justice. Keep that in mind.
They had just collabed. No, Revenge. That was the hate. See, no. They had just did a collab song. They had just did. Matter of fact, Poetic Justice had just came out.
So if I'm understanding this concept correctly, it sounds like he's saying that he believes that Kendrick Lamar was Drake's ghostwriter. And everything has kind of changed once he discovered how everything has been moving with BBL. And then it all started popping off from the Jodeci freestyle. He's going to go line by line in order to try to back up this theory, but let's see how this plays out.
Getting him to come on his album, Good Kid, Bad City, and dissing him on, and getting him to diss himself on Poetic Justice. And then finally on Effin' Problems, getting him to say that he's a Fed with nothing to say, with nothing to add at all. Because Kendrick was Drake's ghostwriter. And he got Drake to do all these things, but guess what? The hip hop community ignored it. If you follow the Poetic Justice theory, you know we think that there is an NDA out there, and Drake got the industry to get involved in all of this, to cover all of this up. Because this would have been so damning to this man's career. It would have killed his rap career before it even had a chance to actually take off.
Now, how much of a role did the industry play in if this was covered up and Kendrick had a role in being Drake's ghostwriter and or doing some shady shit behind the scenes? Is this really the case, or are we just reaching here? So what do you guys make of this? You tell me, do you believe in the poetic justice theory?
For a minute. I'll say this. It's more than possible that Kendrick did pen some of them lines, if not all of them, because at this point we know Drake will take lines from anybody. He'll take reggae lines, he'll take pop lines, he'll take country lines, he'll take rap lines, he'll take classic hip hop lines, he'll take R&B lines. Is there anything left? Is there any? He'll take whatever you can give him as long as it's hot. He knows it's a bop. He'll take it. And Poetic Justice, we knew what that was before we even knew what it was. As soon as we heard the instrumental, we already knew that thing was gone. We already knew. So Kendrick being who he was a writer, he came up as a writer, an underground MC, who got his shot and made the most of it. Him having those previous roots, I wouldn't be surprised if Drake, much like he looks at everybody else, would say, yo, I need you to write X, Y, and Z. I'll take you on tour with me. I'll give you 30 a show or something like that. It's going to be 100 and it's going to be 70 stop tour. I'm going to give you 30 a pop. All right. He Kendrick, he ready to get up into the big leagues. You get what I'm saying? So I think this has some credence to it. We're going to pay attention to this. I'm going to tap back in with this to really, it's something about that tour that we haven't heard about and haven't learned about yet. Something happened on that tour where when that tour was done, something happened. Something was off. Something happened. All right, it's your boy Jet Ski G. Make sure y'all drop a like on this, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you feel about this. Also, I'm going to drop 2 more bangers. One banger right here, one banger right here. On this banger to the left, it's going to be actually Cat Williams exposing. Cat Williams actually exposed the industry, Diddy, and French Montana. Make sure y'all tap into that. It's your boy Jet Ski G. I'm out, y'all.